अथाम्बरीशस्तनयेषु राज्यम् समानशीलेषु विसृज्य धीरः समानशीलेषु विसृज्य धीरः वनं विवेश आत्मनि वासुदेवे वनं विवेशात्मनि वासुदेवे मनो दधत् ध्वस्त गुण प्रवाहः मनो दधद्वस्त गुण प्रवाहः श्रीशुक उवाच अथाम्बरीशस्तनयेषु राज्यम् समानशीलेषु विसृज्य धीरः वनं विवेशात्मनि वासुदेवे मनो ददद्वस्त गुण प्रवाहः श्रीशुक उवाच अथाम्बरीशस्तनयेषु राज्यम् समानशीलेषु विसृज्य धीरः वनं निवेशात्मनि वासुदेवे मनो ददद्वस्त गुण प्रवाहः श्रीशुक उवाच अथाम्बरीशस्तनयेषु राज्यम् समानशीलेषु विसृज्य धीरः वनं निवेशात्मनि वासुदेवे मनो ददद्वस्त गुण प्रवाहः श्रीशुक उवाच अथाम्बरीशस्तनयेषु समानशीलेषु विसृज्य धीरः वनं विवेशात्मनि वासुदेवे मनो ददद्वस्त गुण प्रवाहः श्रीशुक उवाच Sri Shukdev Goswami said, Atha, in this way, Ambarishaha, King Ambarisha, Tanayeshu, unto his sons, Rajyam, the kingdom, Samanashileshu, who were equally as qualified as their father, Visrujya, dividing, Dhiraha, the most learned person, Maharaj Ambarisha, Vanam, into the forest, Vivesha, entered, Atmani, unto the Supreme Lord, Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, who is known as Vasudeva. Manaha, mind. Dadhat, concentrating. Dhvasta, vanquished. Guna pravaha, the waves of the material modes of nature Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Srila Shukadev Goswami continued. Thereafter, because of his advanced position and devotional life, Maharaj Ambarisha, who no longer desired to live with material things, retired from active family life. He divided his property among his sons, who were equally as qualified, and he himself took the order of Vanaprastha and went to the forest to concentrate his mind fully upon Lord Vasudeva. Please repeat this translation. Srila Shukadev Goswami continued. Thereafter, because of his advanced position in devotional life, Maharaj Ambarisha, who no longer desired to live with material things, retired from active family life. He divided his property among his sons, who were equally as qualified, and he himself took the order of Vanaprastha and went to the forest to concentrate his mind fully upon Lord Vasudeva. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As a pure devotee, Maharaj Ambarisha was liberated in any condition of life because, as enunciated by Srila Rupa Goswami, a devotee is always liberated. Iha yasya harer dasye karmana manasa gira nikhilaswapyavasthasu jivan muktasa uchyate. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami thus instructs that if one's only desire is service to the Lord, he is liberated in any condition of life. Maharaj Ambarisha was undoubtedly liberated in any condition, but as an ideal king, he accepted the Vanaprastha order of retirement from family life. It is essential for one to renounce family responsibilities and fully concentrate on the lotus feet of Vasudeva. Therefore, Maharaj Ambarisha divided the kingdom among his sons and retired from family life. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachari Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatari. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nitya Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Gaurabhakta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. We are coming to the end of this chapter. The chapters describing the great devotee Ambarish Maharaj, the ideal devotee, perfect devotee. So Shukadev Goswami is describing the life of Ambarish Maharaj to Parikshit Maharaj. Actually, the Srimad Bhagavatam contains narrations about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, and his devotees, the Bhagavatas. Shukadev Goswami himself is the greatest devotee. So is Parikshit Maharaj. And the discussion between them is about devotional service, about the Supreme Lord, about the great devotees. Such discussions actually are very pleasing to hear, and therefore it's very easy to absorb the mind, provided our mind is not otherwise engaged. Because we have a misconception in terms of our body and bodily connections. So our mind is always absorbed in material things. And that is the very cause of our material existence, which is filled with miseries. So, in order to get out of this material existence, there are so many methods suggested, even in the Vedic literature. Somehow, if you are able to take away the mind from all these material things, then immediately you get relief from material existence. But it's not very easy to take away the mind from material things. We are completely immersed in an ocean of material sense objects. This material world is compared to an ocean, Vishaya Sagara. The entire material world is made up of different objects, which are nothing but combinations of the 5 elements. And we have got 5 senses. Because we desire material enjoyment, we have these 5 senses. And these 5 senses have their 5 sense objects. And everywhere in the whole material world, there are sense objects. Because everything material has got one or more of these 5 attributes of the senses. Any material thing has got form or a taste, or it has got a sound, or it has got a smell, or it has got some touch sensation. And our mind is always looking for some favorable sense contact. All the time. Eyes are always looking. Where is some beautiful object? Where is some very nice looking object? The ears are always searching out for some nice sound. And all these conceptions are in the mind. What is nice, what is not nice? There is nothing which is nice or not nice. But in the mind we have got so many conceptions. We have created it. Due to our desires to enjoy materially, we have created some conceptions. And exactly according to the conception, we perceive different sense objects as pleasurable or painful. And this is the trap of Maya. This is what the scriptures are explaining to us. This is a big trap of Maya. There is nothing enjoyable, there is nothing painful in this material world. Everything is within our mind. So, the real problem is the mind. That's a real problem. We are trying to see some problem outside ourselves. If we have some difficulty or some pain or some problem, we are looking outside. But scriptures say, no, don't look outside. Look inside. And looking inside, it is very difficult because the mind is engaged externally. Mind is engaged externally. Because of the deep-rooted desire to lord over material nature. And why this lording tendency? Because I want to enjoy. Lording itself is a kind of enjoyment. And after I think I have become the owner, possessor, enjoyer, master, then I can exploit further for different varieties of enjoyment. Just like somebody looks at a new model of a car. Looking at it itself, the desire may be generated. Oh, I want to buy this car. But that's just the beginning. Then it develops in so many ways. How to get the finance, how to make arrangements, selecting the color, the model, the place for parking. So many things have to be arranged. A lot of things have to be arranged. After all that, after one gets the car, oh, now I am the Lord, because I am the owner, I am the possessor. I am the enjoyer. Then that's just the beginning. Then so many ways, so many plans for enjoying that. There is nothing enjoyable in that. It is simply meant for transporting you from one place to another. But we concoct in the mind so many things centered around that object. Like this, every single thing, every single object, Vishaya Sagara, this world is full of sense objects. Everything is a sense object, including the bodies of others. That is also a sense object only. That's why the conception of my family, otherwise, souls are all individual souls. There is no material relationship that is real between two souls. They just come together. According to the Bhagavatam, when a river is flowing, two twigs may come together in the course of the flow of the river. For some time they may flow together. After some time they are separated, never to meet again. Our taking birth in this material world is like that. Some souls come together in the name of family. And for some time they are together. Maximum they can be together only as long as the bodies are there. After the bodies are separated, where is the material identity anymore to recognize who is who? The very basis of material identity is this body, which is lost. So where is the relationship? Where is the connection? It's lost. Simply temporarily we come together. Another example given in the Bhagavatam, that on a journey we may meet another person. And if we are traveling together, we may develop some nice friendly relation. But after the destination, each one has to go separate to their particular places, never to meet again. So like that, the souls have no connection, but the bodies create this so-called connection. Body means so many designations. The first designation is mother and the child. That's the first designation for anybody taking birth. Because take birth from the mother's womb. Then father. Then other relationships. So many other relationships. So all these designations are pertaining to the body only. They have nothing to do with the soul. Because I identify I am this body, therefore my identification is simply in terms of body. And then there is bodily possessions. I expands to what is called as mine. Aham mama. Aham is I am this body, the first misconception. And then further misconceptions. Anything connected with the body is mine. My mother, my father, my car, my house. So like this it expands, and all these designations bind us. They're all binding us. But here the example in the Bhagavatam, many examples are there, are clearly helping us understand what is the way devotees how do they live? How do they view this material world? They, first of all, devotees, see everything in relationship with Krishna. That's the first point. Everything in relationship with Krishna, because that's the fact. Everything belongs to Krishna. Everything is Krishna's. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. This is a statement from the Ishopanishad. Now, Ishopanishad is a very special Upanishad. Upanishads are the essence of the Vedic wisdom. In the Vedic literature, so many statements are there, so many divisions of this Vedic literature are there. Very vast. But this essence is in the Upanishads. And among Upanishads, which are so many, hundreds of Upanishads are there, many hundreds. But among them, 108 are described as important ones. Now, among 108, 11 have been identified as even more important. And among the 11, the first one is Ishopanishad. And Ishopanishad, the opening statement is Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. Everything in existence in this entire creation, moving and non-moving, chara achara, everything is belonging to the Supreme Lord. He is a supreme proprietor. He is a supreme controller. He is a supreme owner. He is a supreme master. So this understanding is very, very, very important. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyan. Then what are we supposed to do in terms of our material relationships or material possessions? Very clearly it is told in the Ishopanishad, Tena tyaktena bhunjita. With a spirit of detachment, you accept whatever necessary for your bodily maintenance, for your material existence. You accept whatever is required with a higher purpose, not that you accept something for your material enjoyment. No. Not for material enjoyment. That's why the spirit of detachment. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. The spirit of detachment is very, very, very important. So therefore, in the Vedic culture, the training is right from the beginning. Right from the beginning. First of all, family life is always centered around the Supreme Lord. Grihastha. This is ideal family life. That all the family members, they stay together, keeping Krishna in the center. Nowadays people think that, oh, the head of the family, he should be the center. No. Krishna is the center of family life, ideal family. And everyone connects with Krishna, and through Krishna they connect with each other. This is perfect relationship. This is how devotees live. This is what is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. All devotees. Their life is, they have family, they have possessions, they have dealings, interactions, but everything is centered around Krishna. So the description of Maharaj Ambarish's life is that Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo, his mind was fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna even while he was doing his royal duties as the emperor of the entire world. This is the art of doing one's material duties without becoming entangled in the material world, without becoming affected by the actions and interactions of the three gunas, guna pravaha. So here, Shukadev Goswami is describing in brief the life of Maharaj Ambarisha, even while living within the family, even while being the emperor of the entire world, managing a vast kingdom. Dvasta guna pravaha. He was able to vanquish the influence of the waves of the material modes of nature. Through this body and all the bodily connections, we are constantly being influenced by the waves of the material modes, sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna, continuously. Just like in the middle of the ocean, continuously waves are coming, one after another, one after another, one after another, one after another. There is no stoppage. For these waves in the middle of the ocean, there is no stoppage. Similarly, material existence is such that continuously there will be waves of these three gunas. But a devotee, through engagement in devotional service, is able to vanquish the influence of these three gunas. So the key is the mind, as I began this discourse. The mind, if it is fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna, so the entire process of bhakti is how to fix the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. All spiritual practices are that only, nothing else. But especially in bhakti, one's aim is to fix the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Whereas in the other systems of yoga practice, the supreme, the aim of fixing the mind on the supreme, the conception of the supreme is either Brahman or Paramatma. But in bhakti, directly we aim to fix the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Lotus feet means person. Krishna means the supreme person. It is most attractive. Supreme person. The lotus feet, specifically aiming at fixing the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. then only the mind can completely become free from all kinds of material engagements. Otherwise, the mind is always absorbed materially, always. Even the other practitioners of other yoga systems, they try to take the mind away from all material engagements through difficult methods of practicing severe austerities, cultivating spiritual knowledge, separating spirit from matter, restraining the mind from all kinds of sense engagements. So many different difficult methods they try. And when they come to the point of success in restraining the mind or taking away the mind from the sense objects, then to fix the mind, they don't have a final goal. With difficulty you take away the mind, then where do you fix the mind? If you don't fix the mind, it will go back. To keep the mind empty or to make the mind very still, without any agitation, without any other engagement, is possible for little time with great difficulty. But the mind requires a resting place. That's what Bhagavatam explains. So, which is that permanent, ultimate resting place for the mind? Savai manah Krishna padaravindayo. That's why Shukadeva Goswami specifically is describing Maharaj Ambarish's life. That he first of all fixed his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Then the mind will never go anywhere else. Mind can be permanently fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna. All the acharyas, Vaishnava acharyas, are teaching us that. Every prayer of every Vaishnava acharya, you can note, is for fixing the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. So, very easy method the Bhagavatam suggests is hear about Krishna. Shrunvatam swakatha Krishnaha. Krishna means Krishna in relationship with his devotees. Krishna is never alone. This is the difference between the Brahman conception, Paramatma conception and Bhagavan conception. In Brahman conception, they try to visualize the Supreme as Brahman, which is the all-pervading nature of everything in existence. Everything in existence is the energy of the Supreme Lord. So one tries to see this nature, material nature, spiritual nature, individual nature, supreme nature, whatever nature, as ultimately Brahman. In Paramatma conception, one tries to see how the Supreme as Paramatma has entered into everything. Every material atom, heart of every living being, every planet, every universe, the entire material existence itself. So this Paramatma conception also and Brahman conception, they don't attract the mind. They're not attractive. They're not pleasing to the mind. So one has to more or less force the mind. Don't go anywhere. Get fixed up on the Brahman aspect or the Paramatma aspect. Whereas Bhagavan is supremely attractive. You don't have to struggle to fix the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. It's not a struggle. It is very, 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 very pleasing. Provided the mind is not busy with all kinds of material allurements, with so many misconceptions. So we practice fixing the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna, beginning with the sound of the name of Krishna. Now the name of Krishna is not something abstract. That's the first thing we should understand. The name of Krishna is fully the personality Krishna, this transcendental personality Krishna, with all his features, with his beauty, with his wealth, with his opulences, with his spiritual world. But it's difficult for us to initially understand this truth about Krishna's name, that when you just vibrate your tongue and say 2 syllables, Krishna, immediately Krishna is present in the sound, in the form of sound. The sound is Krishna, fully the person Krishna, not a representation. Just like whenever the people come to the temple, they think, oh, here is one statue of Krishna. So we are supposed to think here is a representation of Krishna. No. This is neither a statue of Krishna nor a representation of Krishna. It is actually Krishna himself. Krishna is standing there. Why is he standing? To accept your service, to bless you, to attract you, to reveal himself to you. Out of his kindness, he is appearing as a deity, as a name, as his holy name. So we have to practice with the proper understanding without any misconceptions. So all the misconceptions about the holy name of Krishna have been summarized into 10 misconceptions. 10 misconceptions that everything in relationship with the holy name of Krishna, those misunderstandings have to first of all go. And then after that, the actual Shuddha Nama, the pure holy name, actually Krishna will reveal himself to us as we keep on chanting and hearing and clearing the misconceptions. Simply if you keep chanting and hearing, the misconceptions will automatically go. But if you try to also understand what those misconceptions are, and you also endeavor to give up such misconceptions, your process of clearing the misconception is accelerated. But if you have difficulty in understanding, then simply you chant and hear. That's all. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Have some patience. Because the cleansing takes time, because we accumulated a lot of misconceptions since millions of lifetimes. Every material interaction produces one or more misconceptions about Krishna. Why? Because this whole material existence is Krishna's only. It's not anybody else's. But what is the fundamental misconception of this material existence? That it belongs to either me or some other person other than Krishna. Like real estate people, they always look at some land or site or house. Yardidu, whose is it? This is the same way we look at everything in this material world. Because we have got that deep-rooted fundamental desire to lord over material nature. So we want to make it our property for our enjoyment, for our exploitation in different ways. So as soon as we start looking everything belongs to Krishna, one major misconception is gone. At the root, your misconception is completely removed. Just this simple truth, this is the real truth, this simple truth, that everything is Krishna's. And a sober person with little intelligence can easily understand this. It's not difficult to understand. We come empty-handed into this world and we leave this world empty-handed. We can't take anything with us. Including our body, we cannot take with us. Nothing we can take. Leave alone bodily possessions. Nothing we can take with us. So who is the real owner? That is explained in the Shastra. He who existed before this creation. He who remains during the duration of the entire creation. Who remains after everything is annihilated. He is the owner. That is Krishna. So this is the beginning. As I said, Ishopanishad, the first Upanishad, the first statement. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Then it's very easy to fix the mind on Krishna. Because the essence of existence is Krishna only. Of course, Krishna is not alone. Krishna with all his parts and parcels, the living beings, with his devotees, with his paraphernalia, with his spiritual world, with his material world, with his everything. So this fundamental understanding all devotees have. So very easily they fix their mind on Krishna. And the entire existence is concentrated in the form of Krishna, in the personality of Krishna. So Krishna is everything, but everything is not Krishna. Carefully understand the statement. Krishna is everything because everything belongs to Krishna. But Krishna has his separate personality apart from everything that he owns, everything that he controls, everything that he possesses. So therefore, everything is not Krishna. If everything is not Krishna and we have to fix our mind on Krishna. Then specifically we have to focus our mind, our attention on Krishna, the actual person, Supreme Person, God. So that God or Supreme Person, Krishna, he is actually an unlimited person. He has got unlimited forms, he has got unlimited names, he has got unlimited activities, he's got unlimited qualities, he has got unlimited devotees, he's got unlimited wealth, unlimited power, etc., etc. So, it's not easy to fix the mind on Krishna, who is the unlimited Lord. That is where the difficulty comes. We should not think Krishna is a person, a limited person. Then that's a mistake. Then so many material misconceptions will come into our understanding of Krishna. Therefore, the scriptures are specifically telling us how to actually fix the mind on actual Supreme Lord, Krishna. So the name Krishna, 2 syllables, Krishna, the name. The name Krishna is fully Krishna, the person Krishna. So, just by vibrating the tongue, it is very, very easy. You can produce this sound, Krishna, and using your ears, you hear these 2 syllables, Krishna. You keep doing this repeatedly with the background understanding that Krishna is fully present in his original form as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with all his energies, with all his wealth, with everything in totality. Krishna is there in these 2 syllables, Krishna. Then you hear this Krishna in that way. So gradually the proper understanding of the Supreme Lord Krishna will be revealed in your heart by Krishna himself, who is seated in your heart. He will reveal himself to you. And then very easy, once Krishna reveals himself, you start getting attracted to Krishna. And revelation begins the first time you chant under the guidance of the pure devotee. You chant. Krishna begins revelation right from the first time you say Hare Krishna. And then the revelation continues, but you should be sensitive. You should be looking for such revelation. Not speculating, not guessing, not having your own old understanding, previous misconceptions about Krishna. All that you have to set aside. In fact, the process of practicing this chanting Hare Krishna is to give up all misconceptions. Whatever you have heard, or whatever you have read or understood or Whatever you have speculated, everything you have to keep it aside. You have to properly hear from the Bhagavatam, from the Bhagavad Gita, from the Acharyas, from the original scriptures about Krishna. And then the misconceptions are gone as the correct understanding is attained by you. All the misconceptions will go away very, very quickly. Wholesale, the misconceptions can go just by attentively hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam or by attentively hearing the name of Krishna. By all spiritual activities, the cleansing becomes very, very fast, accelerated. Very quickly you can become a pure devotee like Ambarish Maharaj. And you can fix your mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Just like Ambarish Maharaj fixed his mind. So I'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.